On a crisp November evening, the 15th of the month, my friends and I, an intrepid group of adventurers always eager for a new thrill, made a collective decision to embark on a night drive. The allure of the autumn night, with its foliage painted in rich hues of amber and auburn, beckoned to us irresistibly. Little did we know that this decision would lead us into a thrilling yet unsettling adventure that would test the limits of our courage and the strength of our bonds. As the sun dipped below the horizon, leaving behind a painted sky of fiery oranges and purples, we gathered at our pre-arranged meeting point. Our convoy of cars, each one packed with anticipation, was ready to roll into the heart of the night. The air held the unmistakable chill of late fall, and the moon began to cast its pale, silvery glow upon our adventure. It was a scene that spoke of camaraderie, daring spirits, and the promise of unforgettable memories. The winding road stretched before us, framed by a tunnel of vibrant autumn trees. The familiar hum of our engines, a symphony of mechanical rhythm, provided a sense of comfort as we ventured into the unknown. Laughter and animated chatter filled the air, a testament to our close-knit group's excitement and the shared sense of anticipation that connected us. As the night descended upon us, the scenery transformed. The picturesque landscape, once a warm embrace of nature's beauty, now shifted into an eerie dreamscape. A peculiar change in the atmosphere became evident. The once inviting scenery was now enshrouded in a heavy mist, a mysterious fog that seemed to have crept up on us as we journeyed into the heart of the night. The warmth of our cars and the company of our friends provided a stark contrast to the chilling mist outside. The fog, thick and encompassing, enveloped our vehicles like a ghostly cloak. The contrast between the cozy confines of our cars and the enigmatic mist beyond created an unsettling, almost surreal experience. The moon, which had been our guiding light, was now veiled behind a curtain of dense clouds. It cast a muted, eerie glow upon the road, and the atmosphere in our cars became increasingly hushed. Laughter and chatter faded into hushed whispers, and an unexpected unease settled upon us as the mist thickened. It clung to our cars like spectral fingers reaching out from the darkness. Suddenly, the lead car in our convoy experienced an unexpected failure. Its engine sputtered, its headlights flickered and dimmed, plunging us into darkness. Panic washed over us as we realized we were stranded in the heart of this misty night. Attempts to restart the car were futile, and the oppressive darkness outside seemed to press against the windows. The haunting silence was broken by the muffled sounds of branches snapping in the distance, and our hearts quickened as we strained to see through the heavy fog. Mysterious shadows seemed to emerge from the murk, their forms shifting and indistinct, like phantoms emerging from the mist. Eyes glowing with an otherworldly malevolence pierced the fog, and a sense of foreboding gripped us. We were encircled by these ethereal figures, their intentions unclear and their movements uncanny. Whispers like ghostly echoes filled the air, leaving us in a state of dread. Our voices raised in a collective scream, swallowed by the enigmatic fog. The figures closed in, the very mist itself seeming to mold their shapeless forms. Just as we were teetering on the brink of despair, a brilliant light pierced the mist, illuminating the spectral figures. A group of fellow travelers, strangers turned saviors, had ventured into the misty night. Their powerful fog lights and reassuring presence dispersed the enigmatic entities back into the fog, and they came to our rescue, helping us restart our car and escape the eerie embrace of the mist. Their arrival was a beacon of hope in the midst of the unknown, a testament to the kindness of strangers when confronted with the unexpected. As we drove away, we were left with an indelible memory of that foggy November night drive. It was a reminder of the unexpected perils that can befall even the most intrepid adventurers, and the reassuring presence of kindred spirits who shine a light on the path to safety, even in the darkest of nights. The adventure was a testament to the enduring strength of friendship and the resilience of the human spirit when faced with the unknown. On a fog-shrouded December night, it was the 26th, I, an intrepid soul with a penchant for exploring the enigmatic realms of the world, found myself compelled to embark on a solo night drive. The allure of the impenetrable fog that veiled the landscape, along with the mystery it promised, was simply irresistible. What awaited me, however, would be a journey through an eerie and surreal dreamscape that still haunts my thoughts. As the clock struck midnight, the dense fog reduced visibility to a mere arm's length. The world outside my car windows had dissolved into an impenetrable grey void, and even the trusty moon was obscured, its silvery glow entirely muted. The road ahead disappeared into obscurity, a wavering path through the formless mist. My engine's hum was my sole companion, drowning out the usual nocturnal sounds and isolating me in an eerie cocoon. The disorienting atmosphere had an uncanny, otherworldly effect, making it difficult to discern where the road began and ended. An ominous chill permeated the interior of my car, and I couldn't help but rub my arms in a futile attempt to chase it away. It was during one of these moments that I spotted something strange in my rearview mirror. Two ghostly, luminescent orbs seemed to materialize out of the swirling fog, peering back at me, a pair of eyes that held an inscrutable, haunting presence. Startled, I swerved slightly, my heart pounding, and narrowly avoided a potentially devastating collision with another vehicle. Determined to convince myself that it was merely a trick of the fog, I pulled over, attempting to catch my breath. The road had taken on an ethereal, surreal quality, and I felt as if I had stepped into an otherworldly dimension, where reality was a mere illusion. After a few moments of gathering my wits, I resumed my journey through the fog, but the feeling of being watched remained, an eerie spectre that clung to my thoughts and sent shivers down my spine. Miles passed, each one stretching out like an eternity in the opaque haze. The landscape transformed into a phantasmagoric dreamscape. Twisted silhouettes of trees, spectral and looming, appeared and vanished like wraiths in the mist, and the monotonous hum of the engine was now my only tether to reality. Then, just as the isolation and uncertainty reached a fever pitch, the engine sputtered and the car's headlights dimmed, leaving me in the grip of profound darkness. Panic welled up as I realized I was stranded in this surreal fog, a formless void where even the echoes of my own anxiety seemed muffled and distant. In the distance, through the impenetrable mist, I heard a peculiar sound, branches snapping and rustling as though some hidden presence was drawing near. Straining my eyes to pierce the wall of fog, I saw only formless shadows, slowly advancing, and a sense of impending doom gripped me. Out of the shifting mists, grotesque figures emerged, shrouded in a spectral fog themselves, neither solid nor ethereal. Their eyes glowed with an eerie malevolence, and they seemed to be a manifestation of the very fog that enveloped them. Panic seized me as they closed in, their features indistinct and their whispers echoing through the fog. My screams, swallowed by the fog, were feeble cries in the face of this surreal nightmare. The very essence of the fog seemed to come alive with nightmarish apparitions, closing in from all directions. Just as I teetered on the brink of despair, a sudden blinding light cut through the thick fog. A group of concerned travelers, armed with powerful fog lights and kind voices, had come upon the surreal scene. Their reassuring presence and beams of light dispersed the spectral entities back into the fog, and they rescued me from the bewildering abyss. Though they brought me back to safety, the foggy night drive would forever remain etched in my memory, an enigmatic journey into a dreamscape where reality and unreality danced together, blurring the lines between the known and the mysterious, and teaching me that even in the most ethereal of moments, one can find salvation in the guiding light of human compassion. On a bone-chilling December night, precisely on the 26th, I, an adventurous soul with an insatiable yearning for the unknown, decided to embark on a solo night drive to clear my mind. The allure of the winter's eerie beauty and the moon's enchanting glow were impossible to resist. Little did I know that this decision would hurl me headlong into a nightmarish ordeal that still sends shivers down my spine. As the clock struck midnight, the crescent moon cast an ethereal glow on the desolate highway, painting the world in shades of silver and charcoal. The asphalt stretched out before me, an obsidian ribbon weaving through the darkened forest, its trees bearing a skeletal appearance, casting ghostly silhouettes under the pale lunar light. The only sound that broke the silence was the soft hum of my engine, a hypnotic lullaby that paradoxically magnified the solitude of the winter night. The atmosphere bore a bone-chilling cold, and the stillness was oppressive. A sudden shiver ran down my spine, and I couldn't help but rub my arms to stave off the encroaching cold. It was then that I noticed something peculiar in the rearview mirror. A fleeting image, two gleaming eyes reflecting back at me. Startled, I swerved, narrowly avoiding a head-on collision with an oncoming truck. My heart raced as I pulled over to the side of the road, trembling and questioning my sanity. I tried to brush off the incident as a figment of my imagination, perhaps a mere trick of the night, but the feeling of being watched continued to gnaw at my thoughts, refusing to release its grip on my mind. Miles continued to unfurl before me, and my unease only deepened. The forest in its winter guise appeared even denser, its trees more grotesquely twisted and menacing. The silence that had once been calming now pressed down on me like a heavy weight. Only the occasional hoot of an owl or rustling in the underbrush interrupted the quiet. The moon, a reliable companion, retreated behind thick, forbidding clouds, plunging the road into inky blackness. My apprehension grew into a pervasive sense of dread when my engine sputtered, and the car's headlights dimmed as though the very soul of the vehicle had been extinguished. Panic took hold of me as I realized I was stranded in the heart of the forest, engulfed by an eerie, haunting silence. My attempt to reach for my phone to call for help was thwarted when I discovered it was curiously dead. In the distance, I began to hear the unmistakable sound of branches snapping, drawing nearer with every passing second. I strained to peer through the obscurity, but all I could make out were elongated shadows moving closer, closer. My heart pounded in my chest, my breaths grew labored, and a chilling sweat covered my skin. The shadows coalesced into grotesque figures, neither human nor animal, their eyes aglow with a malevolence that sent icy tendrils of terror through my very core. Panic overwhelmed me as they circled my car, tapping their bony, skeletal fingers on the windows, and their voices whispered strange, incomprehensible incantations that only fueled my panic. My screams pierced the winter night, echoing through the forest, but no savior seemed to answer my pleas. The woods themselves seemed to come alive with nightmarish apparitions, a surreal and unsettling manifestation of my deepest fears. Just as I was on the precipice of despair, a blinding light sliced through the suffocating darkness. A group of hikers, equipped with bright flashlights and reassuring voices, stumbled upon the nightmarish scene. They bravely ventured forward, their beams of light driving the sinister entities back into the obscurity of the forest. They rescued me, but the trauma of that December night drive would cling to me like a shadow, a spectre that would never fully release its grip on my psyche. From that night forward, I swore off solo journeys in the dead of winter. The forest, which I had once seen as a place of serene beauty, now concealed unspeakable horrors lurking in the shadows, waiting to prey on unsuspecting souls who dared to tread its forsaken paths on that bone-chilling December night.